on a Friday afternoon as we talked about what's going on as far as the world of sports is concerned. Schedule got us started today. Got the NBA to get to, the NHL to get to, baseball to get to, all a little bit later on as we take you home here on this 20th day of April 2018. Let's start. I got 9 lines, so you got to get the calls in all on the schedule. So let's see if we get some answers and see what people want to discuss. Ray in D.C. gets us started, and he says hello. Ray, welcome. Your turn. First, how are you today in hour 2?
All right, thank you, thank you, Chris, taking for my call. I'm a big fan. I really liked your interview with Howard Katz, specifically your last question when you asked about anything in particular affected the schedule. I thought he failed to say that Ed Sheeran's concert significantly affected it, specifically for 7 games. Basically, when he has concerts Saturday night, there can't be a game on Sunday. That affected my New York Jets game. Because that's what
Ed Sheeran. Hold on now. Let's take it easy now, Ray. Where does Ed Sheeran? I don't even know who he is, but who is Ed Sheeran, and when is he playing at the MetLife Stadium?
Well, he plays the 3rd week of the NFL in MetLife. That's the week that the Jets plays at Cleveland. But basically, Jets plays 3 games in 10 days. Monday nighter, and then they have to play Sunday division game against Miami, and then go to Cleveland on the Thursday night. That's a very tough schedule. And then those 7 games that Ed Sheeran is a singer. He's a British singer, a very famous one. And he sings in 7 NFL stadiums during the NFL season. And actually, he gave that report to some other news outlet. I don't know why he didn't mention it to you.
Yeah, I didn't see it. Good point, good call. I did know the Jets. That's a question. Good job by Ray. I could have asked that. I did know the Jets had the Thursday night game and a Monday night game. I also got 3 games at home right after that, so they did make it up to them a little bit. But yes, that is one I probably should have mentioned. Unfair to the Jets. 3 games to start the year in about, as you said, in 20 days. That's probably in 10 days. That's probably a bad job by my part. Excellent point on your deal. I'll take the hit for that. My fault. Ray in D.C. gave me that. Mike is in Oklahoma City, and he's on Mad Dog Unleashed. Mike, good afternoon. How are you today, pal? What do you have for me?
Hey, Chris. Yeah, I already got 2 alerts from 2 different teams. The Raiders selling suites and tickets for their home schedule, and the 49ers, my sister and my brother-in-law have season tickets. They're getting alerts now with the full schedule, suites for sale and tickets for sale.
This is yesterday. This is yesterday or today they got this?
Last night, and I got one this morning from the Raiders. So, the leaks work for sales.
Yeah, well, this morning you can Mike, this morning you can understand because the schedule had already been released. Anything yesterday is a problem. And you know, they're going to have to do something about that. And Katz admitted it, and good call on your end. They are going to have to figure out a way to make sure that this is pretty fresh by the time television comes around at 8 o'clock. By the time we went off the air yesterday at 6, I could have given you, if I wanted to, I could have given you 7 teams full schedule because I had them all the sheets. Now, I didn't because you don't want to know the Tampa schedule, at 5:30 on a national talk show. So I laid low with it, but we could have done that. But what we did have yesterday before the end of the day, we had, we had the London games, we had the Jets schedule, the Giants schedule, we had the Patriots schedule, we had Jacksonville schedule, we certainly had the Atlanta Philadelphia week 1 thing, we had the Bears in Green Bay, we had the Thanksgiving lineup. I mean, we had a lot of things at our disposal. We knew the Niners were playing the Raiders. I mean, we had a lot of things at our disposal, and this is a little show on Sirius XM. I mean, this is not a big one, and this is not FAN in New York. This is a little show, laugh at. This is a little show on Sirius. So from that standpoint, for us to have all this, we don't have a hometown team. So it's not like a franchise kid. Hey, by the way, Chris, you didn't get it from us, but here's the schedule. Go ahead, help talk about it. I don't have that. Nobody's saying, you think Bill Belichick's texting me the schedule? I mean, none of this is going on. You have to hope, but I knew about it. And if they want to make that night a big NFL night where, they blow away the NBA as they will at the draft, blow away the baseball as they will at the draft, blow away NHL playoffs as they really will at the draft. Well, I mean, they could do that if everybody zoomed to the television set at the NFL Network, and they also help the NFL Network. Don't help ESPN. Help the NFL Network. and they can make that a huge TV night with their coverage. Because I love the schedule, so does everybody else. Everybody wants to see who their teams are playing. And, for whatever the reason, it gets spoiled. And, they don't seem to, Katz seemed to think he was annoyed by it, but the NFL is going to have to fix that. If they want that NFL network to have a big show with the releasing of the schedule in the future, they are going to have to make sure that, what they're going to have to do? Nobody knows about it. No team gets the information until after the schedule comes out. They want to call every team today and tell them exactly and walk them through their schedule, go ahead. They can't do anything about the schedule if they tell them before this show anyway. What difference does it make? Tell them the day after. We'll see if they do that down the road. Bill in Connecticut, he's on Mad Dog Unleashed. Billy, good afternoon. How are you today, pal?
Good
What's going
afternoon,
on?
Chris. By the way, I think that's a great idea. So, did I hear it right? The Jets are opening on Monday Night Football against Detroit.
Right. That's
so,
correct.
ESPN, what do they need to pay more money? I mean, nothing. I don't mean to dump on the Jets, but that's not a great kickoff game for.
Now you would
ESPN
agree. Now, Billy,
promotes the game so much.
No, Billy, I understand, and that's not marquee. It is the opening game of the year, so there's a little intrigue. But you like the second game, don't you? Raiders and the Rams.
The trouble with that second game, it's so late. I don't love the doubleheader because I think that's just a West Coast game, and the people on the East Coast have sort of tuned out by the time that game comes around. I'm not in love with that doubleheader.
I agree with that's an excellent point, Bill, and I do agree with that. I do think that the East Coast on Monday night, September 10th, whatever that date that's going to be, they will not watch that second game. But if you are a big football fan and you do live on the West Coast, Raiders, Gruden, home opener, Rams, you'd admit that's a good game.
I'd rather just have that game as the marquee game then.
But ESPN needs the extra game.
No, right. But, they should pay more money to get better game. I mean, obviously, Sunday night gets the good games because they pay.
Well, so does ESPN. ESPN pays too. Yeah, but Billy, it's ESPN pays $1.9 billion a year to the NFL. I mean, ESPN pays the NFL a fortune.
End of the stick. It's their picks. I mean, you'd have to agree. The Monday night games the last few years have been bad.
Well, Katz made the same comment. I mean, that first Monday night, I gave you that first game, spotty. Now, the second Monday night game of the year, I don't like the game that much. So you're right out of the gate. The second game is Seattle and the Bears. I mean, if we're going to see the Bears,
that was their biggest night of the week. Yeah. It was Monday. They got to have a good game though.
Got to have a good game, Bill. Good call. And, it's no longer it's not as much of an intrigue, that Monday night game, because Sunday night's taken over. But I agree with you. That second Monday night game this year, I don't like. I don't like the Seattle Bear game. The third Monday night game, I don't love the game either. It's Pittsburgh at Tampa. So, I mean, I don't love that game. I mean, I know it's Pittsburgh, but, I mean, I don't love that game. Mitch in Jersey, he's with us here. He's on Mad Dog Unleashed. Mitchell, good afternoon. How are you today, pal?
How you doing, Mad Dog? Want to talk to you about this schedule a little bit. Some of the Thursday night games, I think they tried really hard to give Fox a better lineup than they've done in the past. It seems like they want to try and get that night with a little more juice on it. It's kind of been, a bad watch the past couple of years, but I think they tried to rejuvenate it a little bit. I know Fox spent a lot of money to try and get that package up to speed. I know Strahan and Bradshaw are going to do the promo for that game, so they want to get it, maybe inject a little life into the Thursday night. If you look at some of the matchups, this might be one of the best Thursday nights. I can't get into them that much because I think it's a little saturated. Too much Thursday night, Sunday afternoon, Monday night. It's a lot, but maybe they're trying to see if they could get something going with the matchups being a little bit better than they have been in the past.
Well, good call there, Mitch. And Katz answered that question and saying a big help this year on Thursday night. Well, two big helps. One, it's one network, not two. And number two, Fox gave up some of their, what would be, you'd think of, their doubleheader games to put them on Thursday night. Like Minnesota and the Rams, for instance, is a Thursday night game. Normally, Vikings in L.A. versus the Rams, that's a great game. That's a big TV game. Los Angeles, Vikings are a big team. Normally, that would be a great 425 doubleheader game, but Fox said, you know what, we'll give that one up. Let us get that game on Thursday night. So I think the fact that Fox has both packages, remember, NBC doesn't have a Sunday package in the afternoon. So when they do the games on Thursday night, when they did them half the ski, they have no games they can cherry pick off the sked on Sunday. So they got to take what they can get. Fox can maneuver a little bit, and I think that helped them with the schedule. Here's Jimmy in West Virginia, and he's aboard. He's on Mad Dog Unleashed. Jimmy, good afternoon. Your turn. How are you today, pal?
Good.
Fine, Jim.
How's it going?
Okay. What's up?
I was just looking at touch base. A lot of the early games of the year, you've got teams that could possibly draft quarterbacks, and maybe that was a way to sell it. I didn't know if Cats had anything on that. And then the other thing I just want to touch base with you on is that, Chris, I love the Verlander interview the other day. You just did a great job. I actually went back and listened to it, and it was fantastic. So I just leave it with that, and I thought the schedule may have something to do with draft picks as far as featuring quarterbacks.
Well, the Jets. Good job, Jim. The Jets would be one because they obviously play that 2 of the first 3 games they play on national television, and they're going to draft a quarterback. The Browns, their one TV appearance comes in week 3. They're obviously going to draft a quarterback. So they had 2 of those teams right out of the gate. Now, Buffalo, a team that you would think would have a chance to draft a quarterback, they don't play a game until middle of the year. They play the Patriots at home on a Monday night. Their one TV appearance. But, yeah, I think there's a little something going on there with the draft picks. And, we'll discuss the draft here momentarily. But I do think there's a little something going on with the draft picks. And, there are 4 quarterbacks that are going to play. So you can make an argument that, they cherry pick there. They want to figure something out, at least with the Jets and the Browns. We'll take a timeout, 4:15. 1:15 in the West. Good to have you aboard here on Mad Dog.